From the OU TV Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, California, this is Brief News Brief, a brief look at today's trending news topics. Proudly combating the thought police since 2016, here's your host, James Heaney.
I'm James Heaney, and this is your Brief News Briefing. Is the very existence of external reality being tacitly denied by the President of the United States? Welcome to Sharpiegate. How did we find ourselves here? It's frustrating, and it's complicated, and it's outrageously bonkers. It seems silly and trivial, but unfortunately it's not. It's kind of a big deal. It's just one more giant what the fudge moment in an administration where outrage fatigue has consumed us all. It's the equivalent of this map falling asleep too early at a party, and Trump took a Sharpie to its face. We're all having a moment where the leader of the free world is altering hurricane maps with a Sharpie to try to justify a tweet that he made on Sunday. How did this even happen? How did Trump's staff let him even present to the press an altered map with a Sharpie? It's hard to see him make the hurricanes about himself and make this ridiculous scene. And it's hard to know that anybody would actually think that seeing all this stuff unfold in front of them, that Trump is actually fit for office. I think he is counterfeit for office, because counterfeit weather reports are actually against the law. Fine and imprisonment for faking weather reports. It's eerie to watch Trump dig his heels in on something so absurd. He tweeted on Sunday that Dorian was going to hit Alabama, and it wasn't going to hit Alabama. The weather service from Alabama quickly corrected the record, and well, as you know, this contradiction led to him faking a map with a Sharpie to prove that he was not wrong. He's still tweeting about it today. The man who loves to call out fake news is actually faking weather reports to meet the agenda of his ego. It's scary, and it's dangerous, and it's an obvious pattern with this man. You would think that if Trump were watching a contestant on The Apprentice try to pull this stuff off, he would say his titular line, I don't know if you'd consider it titular, his signature line, "You're fired." Trump's unwavering unwillingness to admit mistakes has actually been a central component of his personal survival strategy, and it's worked. No collusion. Are Americans still willing to suspend their disbelief after Sharpiegate? On Trump's second day in office, then Press Secretary Sean Spicer came to the press room at the White House to tell the press pool that its assessments of attendance at Trump's inauguration were incorrect, and that, in fact, attendance was record-breaking. That was day 2. Attention, weed smokers. Now listen up. I don't want to kill your buzz, and I don't want you to get paranoid, but this is some news that you might need. It could very well save your life. State and federal health officials are investigating a mysterious lung illness linked to vaping. Vaping weed. We are not talking about that teenagers binge vaping strawberry popcorn puff vape. That's the news that everybody's talking about. This is vaping legal weed. This is a dangerous chemical in the vape. The chemical is an oil derived from vitamin E. Now, vitamin E is found naturally in certain foods such as canola oil, olive oil, almonds, and the oil is derived from vitamin E acetate. And it's commonly available as a nutritional supplement and is also used in topical skin treatments. When ingested as a vitamin supplement or applied to the skin, it's not harmful. But when you inhale it, well, it can be dangerous. Patients have reported having a cough, shortness of breath, and chest pain. A middle-aged adult died in late July of severe respiratory illness from using an e-cigarette containing marijuana oil purchased from a legal dispensary. This is the first death on record that is linked to a weed product bought at a store. Officials caution that they are a long way from understanding what exactly is making so many people sick. It's still under investigation, but this week health officials felt okay enough to release this level of information on a call. All right? An FDA spokesman said that the agency is looking into potential leads regarding any particular constituent or compound that may be an issue. The vitamin E is used as a cutting agent that may dilute liquids, other additives, and toxins. As of Thursday, New York had received 34 reports from doctors of severe pulmonary illnesses among patients who ranged in the age of 15 to 46 who were using at least one cannabis containing vape product before becoming sick. Inhaling vitamin E will coat your lungs with an oil, and it's bad news. Don't vape anything with vitamin E in it. Period. Dorian is a monster, and we say that in part because we first started talking about this storm on Brief News Brief 10 days ago, and it's still a massive headline. For real, this storm knows how to stay in the news cycle. So where is Dorian now? Well, she's sure as hell not in Alabama. The coastline of Carolina, that's where it's at. They are taking a pounding right now. Rain, wind, flood, storm surges, the whole hurricane ordeal. So far, the eye of the storm has not made landfall. It might, but it also might not. Tornadoes are being reported, 11 of them so far, and some of them have been big ones. There is some damage happening on the outer bands of the storm as it's making landfall. It's forecast to weaken sometime today as it interacts with the land. Overnight, some coastal areas might actually get hit by the eye. But by noon tomorrow, we can hopefully forget about Dorian forever. A lot of people are out of power, as you might expect from a hurricane. The storm, though, for the most part, has stayed off the coastline. Do storms know where the coastline is? The Gulf Stream has saved the East Coast this time. The Bahamas are still reeling from their impact. Death tolls have hit 20, and that could increase significantly. Families have been ripped apart. People are missing. Entire towns are gone, while rescue operations are still underway. The Abacos Islands, everything is gone there. There's nothing left.